Hi, welcome to Remedy of the Week. My name's Mindy, I'm a naturopath and herbalist, and each week I'll be coming to you presenting a remedy that I like to use in natural medicine. So this week I'm going to be talking about a herbal medicine, and it's one that I absolutely love to use for so many different reasons. And it is saffron. So you may have heard of saffron for different uses when it comes to herbal medicines and also when it comes to culinary use. Most people know it for its curry colouring and the effect that it has on things like yellow rice. So saffron is used in India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, all around that Southeast Asian part of the world for its culinary benefits, but it's also used in the Middle East. So I'm going to go over where it is produced and why it's used and what its medicinal properties are. So it is known as Crocus sativus, and it is the botanical family of saffron is Iridaceae. And its part that is used is the stigma in the middle of the flower. So it is an antidepressant, it is a neuroprotective, it is a nootropic, which means that it is cognitive enhancing. It is an anxiolytic, so it prevents anxiety. It's an aphrodisiac and it's an antioxidant, among other things. So some of the indications that we use saffron for in herbal medicine include premenstrual syndrome, depression, postpartum depression, cognitive enhancement, so any of those issues where there is cognitive decline or, lack of focus, sexual desire, ADHD, ocular diseases, so for the eyes, and anxiety. So saffron is a small stemless perennial flower with a honey-like smell that features light purple and striped petals. Each flower contains 3 yellow stamens and 3 stigmas that are about 2 to 3 centimeters in length. They're connected to the base of the flower. So the flower name is derived from the Arab word for yellow, which is characteristic of its stigmas and their high carotenoid content. So because the flowers can be hand-picked and the delicate stigmas removed from the base with the utmost care, it is one of the most expensive spices in the world. So Iran produces 90% of the world's saffron, but it is also cultivated in many other countries, including here in Australia. So it has been long known for its aromatic spice, and it was revered in the ancient world for its medicinal properties. And in many different cultures, saffron has been a prized possession and one that was given to royalty, to sergeants of armies, to lots of prolific people as a gift because it is such a beautiful, expensive spice. So it was used internally and topically and still is today for many different instances. So the other thing is that there is a lot of evidence around saffron. It has been studied extensively in places like Iran for its ability to combat some of our depressive disorders. We are starting to get onto this in the West, and we're starting to look at saffron in a little bit more detail. So there has been a growing body of scientific evidence on the use of saffron for its medicinal purposes over the last 20 years. So it's actually had a renewed interest in literature in the medical world, but especially in Iran, where it is produced widely, and daily doses of extracts generally are derived from about 120 milligrams of the dry stigma. In Western countries more recently, we have started to use saffron more widely. So strong evidence to support the efficacy or the way that saffron works exists for major depressive disorders. And it can relieve symptoms of mild and even major depression. But the mechanism of this action for this effect are thought to be through the increased reuptake of the inhibition of monoamines such as dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. So those are some of our main neurotransmitters, and we know that things like SSRIs used in pharmaceutical medicine are used to combat depression as well. And saffron, while not working the exact same way, does have similar mechanisms in the way that it works. So it actually can work as an NMDA receptor antagonist, and GABA alpha agonism. So it actually increases the way that GABA is absorbed into the brain. So there's also good evidence of support for saffron for cognitive function. So saffron and its components have shown to possess neuroprotective activity and hence might show promise in the various diseases of cognitive decline like Alzheimer's disease, depressive disorders of the elderly as well. The other encouraging results that we're seeing in some of the literature include saffron stigma extract being demonstrated for the symptomatic relief of premenstrual syndrome and postpartum depression. So of course, caution should be used when we're using saffron alongside prescription medications. Pregnant women and breastfeeding women should also use with caution and only under the advice of a qualified practitioner. So constituents in saffron include alpha-crocin. So that is the main constituent that is thought to have its cognitive enhancing and antidepressive activities. So quercetin is another constituent found exclusively in saffron. Phenolic acids, which give it its beautiful bright colour, alongside with carotenoids, which give it its yellow characteristic colour. Flavonoids, which are antioxidants in nature, and flavoglycosides. So it is a very, very powerful medicine with lots of different properties. And I'm very, very excited as a naturopath to have it available to me to be able to use in clinic and to be able to prescribe it to cases that actually will benefit from the use of saffron. So I'm just going to show you, I have some examples of the remedy here with me today, and I'm going to show you the colour of the extract. So I have a bottle of saffron here from MediHerb. This is a practitioner-only company, so I'm a naturopath herbalist, so I'm able to purchase this and prescribe this. So this is something you would need to see a naturopath or herbalist for. So it is a tincture, and it is made 1 to 20. So that is 1 part of the saffron to 20 parts of the solute. That is distilled water and some ethanol to preserve it and to extract those constituents out of this beautiful saffron. So I'm just going to open the lid up of that saffron and show you the colour of that. So you can already see inside that lid how beautiful and bright and yellow that is. So if I'm to pour some in to that lid, you're going to see that lovely colour. So it has such a bright yellow colour to it. I've got some on my hands now and it's going to stain those beautifully. So we know other herbs that we use in natural medicine include turmeric that have a similar carotenoid content, and they do a similar thing. But they work differently because the constituents in each of these herbs are very, very different. So that's the extract, or the tincture I should say, not extract. But we also use saffron in, that's okay, we're going to have a lovely herbal stain there. I'll be able to wipe that off in a minute. We also use saffron in other nutraceutical formulations. So I'm very lucky to be able to use it for exemptuous compounding, so I can make my own powders and herbal liquids where I include saffron. But I also have access to pre-made remedies that include all-in-one solutions for people that are struggling that I'm able to prescribe depending on the case. So one of those formulas is a menstrual formula for women, a hormonal formula. So this can be used postmenopausally as well. But it's fantastic because it has saffron as one of the main ingredients in the ingredients list. Just going to turn that around for you, and you can see there that when we go into that the second ingredient underneath Vitex, which is a fantastic herbal medicine for modulating hormones, saffron is there as well as an adjunct with that other herbal medicine. So it is used widely for premenstrual syndrome, so it helps with that depressive kind of stuff that comes around at the time of a woman's cycle, and it can help reduce those mood fluctuations and help the ability to cope those depressive symptoms in a really gentle, supportive way. So I'm really excited to see on the market for us practitioners that we have saffron included in remedies that are all in one and delivered like that, so we're able to use these as prescriptions for clients that actually will really benefit from them. So I hope you've enjoyed my talk about saffron. I bet you there's a few things there that you may have learned today about how beneficial it is for so many different ailments and disorders, as particularly that we see in the Western world. But I always say consult your practitioner before you undertake any herbal remedies or nutraceuticals. Thanks for watching.